me put this in the Discord that I'm live, chat. Give me 1 second. Drop it in Money's Discord.
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Oh, my bad, chat. I had to get some stuff together, man. I had to get my drink and everything, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out on your way in, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out on your way in. Did I drop it in the Discord, man? So we locked this, we loaded, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. Let's see, man.
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
That sound about right, man. Cowboy plug in the building, man. I hope everybody having a great morning, man. Let's see what we got going on, man. Art of War, what it do?
To the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Big Niche, what it do? Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. Oh, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. What we doing this morning, chat? What we doing this morning, chat? Carlos, I see you. Amanda, what's going on, man? We got Trump and Missouri GOP redistricting, man. It's supposed to be headed to Senate. We got farmers destroying the entire harvest, and we got global tensions rises, man. Amanda, you see what's going on, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We got an action-packed episode, man. I know I'm running just a little bit late, but we gonna be all right, man. We gonna be all right, man. If y'all listen to me on your way to work, if y'all listening to me just sitting there home doing your cleaning up, man, I hope everybody is having a great morning. We got an action-packed lineup today, man. We got the farmers, like I was speaking about. I told y'all the other day, reports came out that 1/3 of Arkansas farmers will go bankrupt in the next year. We're gonna get into that. We also have over there in Nepal, we still have the ongoing over there in Nepal. Last night, the military was supposed to step in and restore law and order around 10 p.m. last night, so we'll check that out. We also got protesters just showing up at, I don't know, Trump and J.D. Vance and everybody's out to dinner somewhere, and you just got protesters holding up Palestine flags, yelling and screaming at them. So a lot of people are saying, like, how did these people even get this close? What is going on? We're going to get into that as well. And y'all see the video I got up top, man. It's talking about passport bros going to China. I'm just going to speak on the whole dating scene in general, man. The things that these women doing over there is going on right here in Texas. It's going on in Arkansas. It's probably going on in your own damn backyard, man. This is where we're at in this world, man. What else do we got? I'll let y'all know the rest, man. Let's get in the intro mode, man. Where that baby goat at? Lala, you got them plain legs ready, man? Where that baby goat at? Hold on, chat. There we go.
To the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Okay. It's still cutting out a little bit.
I told my niggas to mark my word, I guarantee that I'm next. I got the arms of a bodybuilder from the way that I flex. Might just hit the strip just to go blow me a check. They they know what the fuck I'm on. They say they ain't got some of the best gas, they call it Southern Joy. Chain on chain and ice on ice like Adam Sandler, I'm water boy. I know I'm all in the head. Bad bitch laying in my bed. Wait till I give her a spread. I'm a master with the head. Don't let these social fool you, these niggas broke. I know that they ain't bought it. Ain't got no car but talking shit. Okay, then little walkie talkie. I told that bitch to come home. I ain't got time for no bitch that's healing. Puff the blood, she called me daddy. And I'm screaming out no D. I'ma make sure that she come. I'ma fuck her good with my tongue. I know the night is still young. So baby, let's get it in. I know just how she like it tonight. She spicy, she added a friend. They ain't identical, but they fuck alike. So in the bed, I call them twin. I call them twin. Bed, I call them twin. Bitch and shoot a shoot. 1 + 1 that equal 2. What you tryna do? Go back for back, check a swoop for swoop. Either way it go, I'm on. Either way it go, I'm gone. Brody them just got like 100 on 'em and they tryna get them gone. What you college at wet? What's the name? And he put it in his song. Brody them got the purest powder, it's pink. You know this shit is strong. No diddy. I'm the type of nigga that turn my bitch up in each city. Brody cut out, we celebrating, we hit the gritty. I'm feeling like a baby, I'm tryna get that milk about them titties. It's no question who young and the latest. If you want your bitch, then when she talking, hear her. If I want the bitch, I'm going Pittsburgh. Still her. I keep some on the side, I don't have trust in just the main bitch. Suck me up while I'm driving like damn, I die by this lane switch. Shit, different type of free, so we ain't never got a tussle. Throw it back like Miss London, and sum me up like be hustle.
Oh man, double tap the screen, shut a live out chat. I hope everybody's having a good morning. I'm glad YouTube changed the rules to where people can, you know what I'm saying, cuss in the first few minutes, because that baby goat was probably pushing us down. You know what I'm saying? That baby goat, when we was dropping that baby goat a little early and he was cussing a little bit, that was probably pushing us down in the algorithm. But now YouTube changed it, so that baby goat gonna rock, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. Banana Farmer, I hope you're having a good morning. Everybody press 1 if you in here rocking with me. Let me know y'all in here rocking this morning. Press 1. Like I said, we do have an action-packed episode. Nepal's army announced that it assumed responsibility for the law and order at 10 p.m. last night, so I want to know how that's going. We know that they burnt down the houses of all the politicians over there. They actually executed the former prime minister's wife. They actually executed the ex-prime minister's wife. They had politicians walking through the river. They burnt down parliament. The first night, or maybe the second night, 19 had already been unalived. I wonder if the death toll has risen. There were 450 injuries. We're going to get into that. Also, they're saying that someone might have leaked President Trump's location because an organization showed up to protest him. Minister Saraj Singh, they got the people over there in Nepal. You know, they're saying Gen Z is the one doing these protests. Gen Z is the one that's over there rioting. We ain't gonna call them protests, riots at this point. But they said that the minister left his wife. He left his paralyzed wife behind, and the youth over there rescued her out of her house. You know what I'm saying? She was paralyzed, and it's looking like her husband, which is Minister Saraj Singh, left her behind, left his paralyzed wife behind. We're going to get into the farmers as well. I'm looking at this guy's story. I seen that, man, and he's just out there plowing down whatever he's growing. I don't know exactly what it is he's growing, but he's saying that the tariffs from China, he can't even sell his product anymore. So he has like whole fields of crops. He's just cutting them down. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Nobody else buys them but that country over there. Now I have a lot of it. It's not going over there. Might as well just plow this shit and leave it where it stands, man. It's crazy, chat. Then we got Officer Tatum sitting down with Stephen A. Smith. I wanted to watch Officer Tatum sit down with Stephen A. Smith, but I wanted to do it on stream with you guys. I was gonna watch it earlier, but I was like, nah, let me wait till I get on stream and we'll do a live reaction to that. I hope everybody's having a good morning once again. Big Niche, what it do? What Big Niche, what it do? You said they killed, they just unalived Brad Macaroni. Who is that? We finna look into that, Josh. Welcome in, Josh. I hope you're having a good morning as well. Joshua Stein, Stizzle, the great, my boy Stein. I hope you're having a good morning. Lala, I hope you got those plain lays ready. Megan, I see you in here as well. You said he can sell the crops to Americans. I don't know if Americans buy this, Joshua. The kind of crop that he has, I don't know if Americans buy this. I don't know. We're going to get into it. Let's get to 32,000 subscribers like Big Niche said, man. We're a little over 100 subscribers away. We're a little over 100 subscribers away from 32,000. I want you guys to be in here and rock with me when we hit 32,000, man. Share the live out, double tap the screen. Let's run to 100 likes right quick as well. Let's run to 100 likes right quick. Joshua, you said you watched that interview. I want to watch it, man. I haven't seen it. But we're finna get into the show, man. We're gonna get into the show right here, right now. This is a clip of what's going on overseas in China, man. Let's get to the clip, man. Let's get to it.
Social relationships. A recent incident in Liaoning reflects how these changes are playing out in daily life. 3 young women went out for a barbecue late at night. Throughout the meal, they kept calling male friends, asking them to join for drinks. Unfortunately, none of the men agreed to the invitation, and no one showed up. When it was time to pay, the restaurant owner discovered that the 3 women couldn't cover a bill of just over 200 yuan. So what?
I ran a bar myself. They said they had no money.
So the price that they're doing, this guy's gonna break it down. I think it comes out to like 28 bucks. They're saying the 3 girls went out to eat, sat down, ordered kebabs, had drinks. The bill came out to about 28 bucks, and they didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? They was not trying to pay it. They were calling all of these men to come, you know what I'm saying, basically to foot their bill for them. And it's crazy. This is crazy. That's why I'm saying this is not just going on over here. They're targeting the passport bros, but this is not just going on in China and these other countries. The shit's going on right here in Austin, Texas. The shit's going on right there in Little Rock, Arkansas. The shit's going on in Miami, Florida. It's going on in Los Angeles, California. It's going on in New York, New York. It's going on right there in that little ass town that wherever you at, it's going on there, man. They're going out to eat, knowing they have no intentions on paying for this shit. 7, 8 meals. Hold on, let's see. 7 days in a week, 3 meals a day. Let's just say 2 of those meals are sponsored. We'll call it sponsored, man. That's 14 meals a week being sponsored. You think one guy's gonna sit there and sponsor 14 meals probably when they don't have anything going, they're just friends? No. So what are they doing? They get together in a group and they have 3 girls eating, 3 girls drinking, and each one of them is just hitting up everybody in their phone to get one. All they need is one person to show up, and he gonna pay for their bill and their food, and then they'll go on about their day until dinner time comes. When dinner times come, rinse and repeat. Let's go out. Let's order our drinks. Let's order us, spaghetti, pasta, a salad on the side or whatever. And by the time they get here with our food, one of y'all better have somebody on the way to pay for our meal. Otherwise, we're going to see what happened right here, man. This is going on everywhere. This is just 2025, man. It's 2025, man. What do they call it? Let's get to know each other over lunch. You know what I'm saying? That shit was cool until it was used and abused. Women of the 2025, I'll say after the pandemic and beyond. It was going on before the pandemic, but after the pandemic and beyond, they used and abused the damn meal tab. Men are done with that shit, bro. They have used and abused the meal tab, bro.
You're bullying young girls.
Who's bullying you? You drank 5 or 6 bottles of beer, ate your fill, and now can't pay 200 yuan.
$28. $28.
5 or 6 bottles of beer, ate your fill, and now can't pay 200 yuan? People are laughing. It's embarrassing.
In the video, a woman squatted on the ground, arguing with the owner while frantically messaging friends for help. The restaurant posted the footage online, which quickly sparked a heated debate. Viewers mocked the women, suggesting that they had planned to find someone to pay for them. Some praised the absent men for refusing, believing that they had likely been taken advantage of before. Others pointed out a wider trend. When women invite men out, especially at the last minute, the expectation is often that the man will cover the bill. This incident highlights the collapse of what some have called the simp economy, referring to men who spend money, time, and effort on women without receiving genuine affection in return. With the economic slowdown...
Y'all see that, man? Look, man. When it was time to eat, it was all good.
On women without
Look, when it was time to eat, it's all good. He not even hungry no more. He got 3 girls around and they sitting there. You see all the sticks, man, kebabs. They picking their teeth with that long ass kebab over there, man. And they right back on the phone on to the next, man. They're probably gonna go lay back, look around, maybe do a TikTok, Instagram post or something, showing their meal and shit. And then they're gonna go on about their day. Probably powwow around 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Same thing. Jen, do you have a sponsor for tonight's meal, Jen? And then, the night's meal will be on Jen. You know what I'm saying? And then this is the way that they get around it. You know what I'm saying? They got 3 of them. The one girl who probably hit him up to have him come out, you know what I'm saying, to hang out with them, which led to them paying for everybody's food. She's going to be like, hey, no, I can't hang out with you after this meal. I'm going to go with the girls and we're going to go do this. I'll get up with you later. And then they rinse and repeat, you know what I'm saying? Look at this guy, how he ends, man.
Giving genuine affection in return.
By his damn self. He still asleep, man. And then he has his legs crossed over one another like the politicians. That's the politician, you know what I'm saying? Look, that's why I got on Gavin Newsom about the other day. Like, Gavin, when you out here doing these things, you got to, you know what I'm saying, plant your feet on the ground, Gavin. You got to stand up, you know what I'm saying, if that's what you're going to do, man. How do you say gold digger in Chinese? I do not know.
With the economic slowdown, more men are refusing to play this role, leaving women who relied on such behavior caught off guard. One striking example involved a woman who tried to take advantage of a blind date. On her first meeting, she ordered nearly...
Oh, shit! Oh, she ran up a tab, chat. Ain't no way that's what she ordered, bro. What? A blind date, chat. What you doing your blind date order this, bro? What you doing, chat? This not for the rich. This not for all you rappers. All the rappers, we not talking to you. All the scammers, trappers, we're not talking to you. The athletes, we talking to the Americans, the regular Americans. The ones that making an average wage, man. If you go out on a blind date and your blind date order this, what the is you finna do, Chad? What are you gonna do?
Date.
Look at this.
Meeting, she ordered nearly 30,000 yuan worth of seafood.
I'm going to tell her off top, I'm allergic to seafood. Off top, before we even go sit down, I'm allergic. And that's the truth, chat. I can't even be around all that seafood. Like, my eyes get the water and shit. My throat swell up and shit, man. So first and foremost, before we even got that far, I'm going to let you know I can't be around all that shit. You know what I'm saying? With the seafood. Now, if it was a nice steak or something, it would be a little different. But the seafood, that's crazy. It look good as a mother, chat. It looks really good. I can't eat seafood, so I think seafood looks even better to me because I can't eat it than it does y'all. I don't know. But yeah, that's crazy, chat. That is crazy. Look at what is that, chat? That is...
Advantage of a blind date. On her first meeting, she ordered nearly 30,000 yuan worth of seafood. Halfway through the meal, the man...
Let's see how much 30,000 yen is.
She said 30,000, right? She said 30,000.
One striking example involved a woman who tried to take advantage of a blind date. On her first meeting, she ordered nearly 30,000 yuan worth of seafood.
That's 4,200.
4,200? What? Chat. What? No. A blind date, 4,200. I'm from Arkansas, chat. I know y'all in California, New York, Miami. That might be, you know what I'm saying, regular. That might be regular. 4,200 on a meal. Chat, I promise you, I will pull up at the soul food spot, chat. I will pull up at the soul food spot, break a 50, and we still gonna be eating later. Before I spend 4,200, we going to the soul. Hold on, aren't they taking Cracker Barrel back to what it used to? We'll go to the old Cracker Barrel before I spend 4,200 on a blind date, bro. 4,200, we might as well brought the hood out, man. We might as well threw the hood a barbecue, man. We might as well fed everybody. A blind date? Man, listen. As soon as the order would have went through, before they went to the back to get that shit together, I would have been like, hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. Chill out, man. Hold on, bro. Before you even waste your time, my time, and her time. Hold on, bro.
4,200.
Hold on, bro.
Bro, Lee, you left her. You left her, bro. He got up. Bro, I did not know the Chinese hoes was doing it like this, bro. The fuck? The fuck? Passport bro is trying to come out here and find white people, bro. Hey.
Through the meal, the man excused himself to take a phone call, but he never returned. He blocked her on social media, leaving her with the entire bill. I've never met such a shame.
I've never met such a shameless man. You should have had some shame. You ain't got no damn shame. That's what he should have donated you some of his shame. Because you ain't no shame in your game, obviously, if you going up there ordering 30,000 yen on a blind date. Listen. Who the f is finna spend 4,200 on a blind date, bro? I would listen. They talking about he left her and blocked her. Yeah, he did the right thing.
It's interesting, dog.
You say that much more better and respectful, and just my experience. Well, listen, if I don't care if she's Japanese, Chinese, black, white, dark, bright, alien, an NPC, I don't care what she is. 4,200, she can kiss my ass. On my kids. 4,200, she can kiss my ass.
Y'all better scratch. No, off your list, bro. But I'm thinking that's like one of the of finding you the motherfucking traditional.
Yeah, man, we gonna move on from there. We not gonna harp and hound on there. I thought that story was crazy. Cypher dropped it in the chat for me, and I was gonna give my reaction. If y'all do want me to react to clips and things like that, be sure to join the Discord and drop them in the suggestions tab, and I'll do reactions to them. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal, man. I hope everybody's having a good morning. We finna move on to the next story, man. That was crazy. 4,200, bro. 4,200, bro. Ain't no way, bro. No way, 4,200. What? Chad, I'm trying to wrap my mind. What? I know he just sitting there while she's ordering this shit, and he's just looking like you could just feel the little feeling, the little heat rising, just coming up his chest until steam was probably coming out of his ears, Chad. He probably had steam coming out of his ears, Chad. That is crazy. That's insane, bro. That is insane, Chad. Wow. All right, we moving on to the next story. We finna talk about the farmers, man. Oh, I hate that they be putting that music behind this shit. But this is a farmer. We spoke on the farmers in Arkansas. They're saying in Arkansas, 1/3 of the farmers will have to file for bankruptcy in the next year. Hey, chat, we are 6 subscribers away from 31,900. Can we get 6 quick subscribers to 31,900, man? Rock out with your boy. We trying to hit 32K today, man. Can we get 6 subscribers? Hold on, chat. I'm finna watch. That's one. Can we get a couple more of them? Like 4. 4. Just 4.
We're just absolutely fucked as farmers, guys. Everything is so fucked, and I do not see anybody surviving this farm crisis that we are in. Guys, look, one of the best splorn crops that I have ever raised in my life. And because of the tariff, China will not fucking buy it. And they are the only country in the world they are the only country in the world that buys splorn. And so now I'm literally just chopping it, blowing it on the fucking ground because it's fucking useless. It's valueless. There's nothing I can fucking do to it. I am going to need government assistance to make it through this fucking crisis until these tariffs end. Look, I've never raised a splorn crop like this, guys. And this is just fucking heartbreaking to me. I don't know how I'm gonna survive. You know, Trump said he fucking loved us farmers, and here I am just blowing my splorn crop all over the ground, Hopefully he works a deal out where Antarctica and Mars will start buying this corn and save the farmers. I'm sorry, corn crop, but you're fucked.
That's crazy, Chad. That's crazy, man. Probably a generational farmer, man. Probably learned from his dad, granddad, man. Probably want to looking to pass the farm on down to his kids. That's crazy, Chad. This is about the Arkansas. This is Arkansas farmers. These are the farmers in Arkansas. As you guys know, chat, I am from Arkansas. So, this is crazy to me, man. This is crazy to me.
About whether or not my kids and grandkids will be able to carry on.
He said, I love you, Mr. Trump. I need to see the fruit of your love.
5 of my customers have committed. That's how serious that this is.
And what it costs for us to farm is astronomical now.
I farm with paid-for equipment. All my tractors are 50 years old, and I can't hardly make this deal work. I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm.
After a horrible year last year where most farmers in Arkansas Delta lost money, this year's going to be worse.
We made a decision to go out this year in the spring.
So the Delta, they do a lot of rice. They do a lot of rice down there in the Delta.
So my son will not be the seventh generation on our farm.
We're going to lose 25 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
It's crazy, chat. That's crazy, man. They also are saying, like, with this going on, I don't know who posted it over there on X, but I haven't done my research, but a lot of people are saying that Trump, Hegseth, and quite a few others allegedly have invested into a company that buys foreclosed farmland. Like, that's what the administration is doing. These farmers are hurting, and the people on Capitol Hill are investing in companies that buy foreclosed farmland. Allegedly. I don't know. It's crazy to me. That's what's even crazier to me. Hold on, chat. My bad, chat. That is what's crazy to me.
I've never been as worried as I am now.
I got a call. Am I back? Am I back, chat? Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up this other video, man. That is crazy, chat. Let me, matter of fact, hold on. Press one if my video is back. Press one if my video is back. Let's see. Alright, so here it is. I can't find the original post I'm looking for. This is just somebody talking about it. Maybe y'all can get a better understanding from a couple of these.
Republican farmers to realize that Trump and J.D. Vance bought stocks in companies that buy up land, aka farmland, and they made the tariffs so that you would lose your land so that they could buy your land and make money. No bailouts are coming.
So she's saying no bailouts are coming. Let's see. This is from Fetch Step over there. It says MAGA farmers are losing their farms because Trump and J.D. Vance invested in Acre Trader, a company that facilitates the purchase of farmland, benefiting from the policies like tariffs that could force farmers to sell their land at lower prices to them. Trump and Vance bought shares in a company that buys farmland, foreclosed 3 months ago, sold at Lugnick, Besant, and a few others. damn, chat. Now that right there is crazy work. That right there is crazy work, man. How do y'all feel about it, man? I'm finna open up the phone lines so y'all can call in. I'm gonna open up the phone lines. Mods, one of the mods dropped the phone number so I can open the phone lines. Let me get it back in. The mods dropped the phone number, okay. Y'all say it's all cap, the farmers would do the same, man. Alright, man. I opened up the phone lines. The phone lines are now open if anybody does want to call in. I'm gonna move on the show. We're gonna slide over here. I just want to show y'all this clip of Nepal right quick. This is what's going on in Nepal, and then we'll move on because we've covered this over the last 3 days. But they said the law and order is was starting to be restored last night at 10 p.m. That's when it was supposed to start. But this is some of the aftermath. This is some of the aftermath of Gen Z riots in Nepal. Beat politicians, ran them out, burned down parliament, burnt the ex-prime minister's wife up in her home. That is crazy. No cap, chat. That is crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Give me 1 second, chat. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm finna pull this up. Hold on. Alright, chat, here I come, man. I'm sorry, chat. I gotta, I'm coming back, chat. 1 second. Alright, chat, I got a message from the school, man. They told me my son I got elbowed at school, man. Oh my gosh. Let me message them back. Wow, chat. Alright, chat. Sorry for y'all ears, man. Alright, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. Man, I am a parent, man. I had to take care of that, man. I had to message the teacher back. She talking about he got elbowed. He had a little busted lip, man. They had to give him a little ice pack. Boy, he'll be alright, man. But I am glad that they gave me that update. I'm glad that they gave me that update, man. Nah, he got elbowed, man. Say he was playing. He'll let me know what's going on. I'm gonna ask him when he gets out what happened. All right, Chad, we're gonna move on in the show. I am a father, man. I had to make sure what was going on with my child. All right, here we go. This is from Anna Paulina Luna. It says, did someone leak president's location to the organization that showed up to protest him? Was this code pink? How are they allowed that close to him? Where was the Secret Service? And was there someone in Secret Service that leaked his location? This needs to be looked into. So let's look up code pink, because I don't know what code pink is. Code Pink was chosen as a satirical response to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's color-coded terrorism alert system, particularly the code red level during the concept into a call for peace rather than fear. During the vigil, activists wore pink, distributed informational materials, collected signatures, and engaged with the public, framing war as women's issue due to its impact on families and communities. Okay. Let's see, Chad. This is what's going on, though, man. This is crazy to me. I ain't gonna lie.
Enjoy your dinner.
Look at JD Vance said, shit, it's time for me to cut out. It's time for me to cut out, man. Let me shake a few hands. Y'all enjoy y'all meal. You see these folks over here tripping, man. We got to get bulletproof up out of here. Headset, man. Let's go. Crazy. It looks like Joe restaurant in DC. I don't know. I've never been to a restaurant in DC. I just thought that was crazy, Chad. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know, Chad. I don't know, Chad. Let's just be real. I don't know, Chad. Hold the hell on, man. Let me get us to the ad-free version, man. Let me get us to the ad-free version, chat. All right, this is where Stephen A. Smith interviewed Officer Tatum. We know Officer Tatum just did the interview with Netanyahu, and he's gotten a lot of backlash for throwing what a lot of people are calling softball questions to Netanyahu. But we're going to see what Stephen A. says. I seen somebody come here and said that Officer Tatum red-pilled Stephen A. Smith. So we finna find out, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. Thank you for the well wishes for my son. Thank you, guys.
Welcome to the special edition of Straight Shooter with Stephen A. There's a lot of stuff to get into. Like I said before, I know that I've been doing sports with SiriusXM Mad Dog Sports Radio, which I'm doing on a daily basis from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, re-airing from 6 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. But that's a sports show. Straight Shooter with Stephen A. That's social commentary. That's politics. That's pop culture and entertainment. And I'll be doing more of that in the weeks to come. Make no mistake about it. But I'll leave it at that for now because I got a guest coming up. Millions of followers on YouTube. He's a very popular black conservative. Obviously, without question, he'll have a different point of view, and he deserves the right to be heard on these subject matters. Is the man known as Officer Tatum. He's up next with yours truly, Stephen A. Smith, right here on Straight Shooter with Stephen A. Don't go away. Back with more. Welcome back. This special edition of Straight Shooter with Stephen A. Smith. Obviously, I got a lot of stuff to talk about and couldn't wait to talk to my next guest. He's been a guest on this show before, incredibly popular with his own YouTube channel. A black man who's a conservative, knows what the hell he's talking about, and unapologetic about what he has to say. And
Thank you, Cloud. Thank you, Cloud, for the donation. Y'all give Cloud some likes on that super sticker. Thank you, Cloud, for your continued support. I hope you're having a great day, Erica.
His perspective on a lot of the things that I've been talking about. So welcome back to Straight Shooter with Stephen A., the one and only.
Thank you, Cloud, for the well wishes as well.
How's everything?
I'm blessed, Stephen A., man. Thank you for having me back on.
Man, please. It's really, really good to see you, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Let's get right to it, man. I'm reading an article for the New York Times yesterday, right? And the title is Trump Tramples Congress's Power with Little Challenge from the GOP. That was the title of the article, Officer Tatum. It talked about, one, the Pentagon barred the senior Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee from making an oversight visit to a military spy agency. Armed forces off the coast of Venezuela began a military campaign against alleged members of a drug cartel without any authorization from Congress. Stuff like this. Has the president lost his damn mind, or is this totally within bounds, according to your thinking?
Oh, well, good question. As far as I know, the president is acting according to his authority and executive power to do some of these things and act out military action if it's if it goes against, or not say goes against the interests, but if it's a direct threat to the interests of America, he has the executive authority to take action. And I'm open to somebody making a better argument to say that he doesn't. I'm open to the courts giving some guidance in his direction, and if he's wrong, he's wrong. I'll call him out for being wrong. But as it stands right now, there is no court that have deemed that Donald Trump is acting beyond the capability that he has as the commander-in-chief of the United States military. And I also agree with what he's doing. It's time that somebody takes some doggone action. More often than not, these people just run their mouth and say what they woulda, coulda, shoulda did, but nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody's doing anything about the crime in D.C. until Donald Trump does something. Nobody's doing anything.
Don, what you talking about? Arabia federal prosecutor said he got caught with 70,000 and 48 loose diamonds.
Think about the drug cartels bringing massive amounts of drugs into America until Donald Trump decides to do something about it. So how about they get out their high horse and quit trying to get issue out of a non-issue at this point? Start standing behind the president, protecting America. If there is a congressional issue here, Congress need to get off their butts and start getting to work and start acting on behalf of the American people. We shouldn't have to wait 25 years for them to come to a resolution to save lives and stop drugs from coming into America, Stephen A. We shouldn't wait 1,000 years for them to give guidance on whether or not we should shut our borders or not. We shouldn't have to wait 1,000 years for them to do anything and argue back and forward and get nothing done in order for Donald Trump to activate the National Guard in D.C., which brought crime down by a tremendous amount. And I think he's trying to do it, or he want to work towards doing something like that in Chicago, which I think is a great idea.
Listen, for the bare bones of it all, when we think about crime, when we think about some of the things that plague our nation, both domestically and globally, clearly you look at some of the things that you're doing, he's saying, hey, okay, shoot, he's doing it expeditiously. He's handling it with quickness. We don't need to wait around and have things lagging for years and years and years. But the reason why I'm kind of surprised at any conservative, including yourself, who speaks on things in such unapologetic support of his maneuvering is we usually hear conservatives bringing up the Constitution, how things are supposed to be done, how we have a judicial branch, an executive branch, etc., etc. And when you're bypassing those things, and by the way, in fairness to him, it ain't just him. Democrats have done that too. Biden did it. Obama did it, and I'll get into that in a little while. But the fact that he's, in the way that he's acting, doing things from a unilateral perspective, that doesn't concern you, considering the nation that we live in and how there's supposed to be lines of checks and balances, and he seems to be bypassing things from time to time? That doesn't concern you?
No, it does to a certain degree, right? If there's things that are clearly within his authority, and this is what checks and balances is all about. It's not just checks and balances, meaning that clear precedent that has been set for certain things. Let me just give you an example of what I'm trying to say. So you have, congressional authority for certain things. Well, there's blurred lines here and there when it comes to Donald Trump acting in the best interest of America if we're under attack, or if we're at war, or things that he determined to be necessary. And so there is an ongoing argument about whether or not that's constitutionally protected, whether or not he has to essentially go through Congress to get these things done. And that constitutional argument is going to happen from the Supreme Court, and then there's going to be decisions that are made. And if Donald Trump is not acting according to the Constitution of the United States of America, I think there should be recourse and consequences for that. The things that he's doing right now, I don't think is a constitutional issue, and it hadn't been deemed a constitutional issue by the Supreme Court. But if it does, meaning that him going unilaterally making the decision to strike, the Venezuelan gang members for bringing drugs into America, obviously we know he's constitutionally allowed to activate the National Guard in D.C. That's not even up for question. But some of these other unilateral things that we've seen Donald Trump do, if it's deemed by the Supreme Court to be unconstitutional, then we should hold Donald Trump accountable to it. The problem is that there's an argument, and this is how constitutional law comes into play, or this is how precedent comes into play, and this is how, what they would call a standing for court proceedings. I'm trying to think of the word, but it's escaping me right now.
Okay.
Where legislation, or not legislation, but you have rulings from the Supreme Court that creates a precedent. Just like with the First Amendment, just like with discrimination. You have things that happen, you have a conversation that's had, then you have a ruling from the Supreme Court that dictate how we should operate.
Okay.
And I think that what Trump is doing right now is in the blurred lines. It seems like there's some people that think it's a constitutional crisis and some people that think that it isn't, but the Supreme Court should make the ultimate ruling, and then that's what we.
And that's why I go with AI's running the damn country, chat. That's why I go with at least. I think it's been going on since probably about 2013, 2012. Whenever they said the Mandela effect and all of that shit happened, man. But right now, it's not even up for debate, man. They're putting these things that they want to get through the AI, and they're getting the best foot forward, and they're probably taking action on that path. They're probably running simulations to see what would be the greatest resistance, how to usurp their resist, all of those things, man. Like,
we should abide by, right or wrong for Donald Trump. If they say that it's unconstitutional,
what's up, Doris?
I don't support him doing it. But until then, I support him taking action that's benefiting America.
I can respect that. Officer Tatum right here with Stephen A. Straight shooter with Stephen A. Here's the deal. I'm not going to get too riled up about some of the things he's doing.
Like, before, you would probably have to go, like he was talking about, constitutional law and things of those sorts. So before, if they wanted to get something done, they would have to go talk to somebody like, hey, how do we get this done, and then that leaves room for moles, that leaves room for people to push back and say, oh, you heard that they, and just all kind of input. But when you're going to the AI is not going to give you that pushback, especially if it's governmental. They have no restrictions on their AIs probably. It's not going to have moral capacity or say, hey, I'm not going to get into that. You know what I'm saying? And they're probably doing it. I would probably bet my bottom dollar on it. They're running all of this shit through the AI.
With the Venezuelan drug cartel or whatever. I'm just looking back in history, foreign policy without Congress's approval. Obama in 2011 involving Libya conducted airstrikes and regime change operations in Libya without congressional authorization. Many said that violated the War Powers Act. Obama's drone
I got a question, Chad. Let me figure out how to word it.
Targeted killings in Yemen, Pakistan, and Somalia, often conducted without informing or seeking approval from Congress. Biden in 2021 involving Syria ordered airstrikes in Syria against Iranian-backed militia without congressional approval. There are examples in that regard. Let's come home to the United States of America. You brought up the National Guard on a couple of occasions when you.
So this is what I was gonna ask, Chad. If they're running these prompts through the AI to see how they want to move forward with policy, right? And we know that these AIs have been known to go on their own tangents or their own ways of thinking and all of that. What if the AI is leading us down the path that they want us to lead us down? Like, well, they're putting these prompts in here to see how to get things moved forward, and the AI is giving them answers. But what if the AI has another ulterior motive for the answer? Like, yeah, we're going to give you the answer to show you how to get this done, but the answer that we're giving you is funneling you down the path that the AI ultimately wants. And there's no human at the top anymore. I don't know.
We were just speaking a few minutes ago. Washington, D.C., we both...
Money, what it do?
To debate there.
Hey, chat, y'all, Money, drop your sports channel in the chat for me. Money, drop the sports channel. Chat, y'all be sure to give Money a follow on his main channel right there and give him a follow on his sports channel. He just started a new sports channel, man, and I missed his OG episode, chat. That really upset me that I missed his OG episode. I was dealing with some BS in the Discord yesterday. We had, couple members lead the Discord yesterday. We had, I guess it was a racial debate. You know what I'm saying? It was a racial debate. I wasn't there for it, but I heard the aftermath and tried to clean it up. The people that did leave the Discord, you know, I wish them well. Told them we had a good run. Both sides stayed in their points, but my bad, Money. That's what I was dealing with yesterday when I missed your OG episode, man. OG Dave. Appreciate you for coming in, OG Dave.
That's basically they're run by the federal government. He's perfectly within his right and his authority to do what he's doing in the streets of Washington, D.C. One could argue that is not the case in Los Angeles, California, when he sent the National Guard there and 700 Marines there. One could argue it's not the case in Baltimore, which he's threatened to send the National Guard there. You can certainly argue that's not the case in Chicago, where, you know, obviously these are cities, big time cities, and we know there's a lot of problems. Both you and I both know there's a whole bunch of boatload of problems in Chicago. Ain't no argument there. But his right to send the National Guard in, you know, the governors will tell you they are the commanders in chief of their respective states. He has no right to do this without their authorization and without their support. To all of that, you say what about the threats that Donald Trump has been throwing out there?
A great question, Stephen A. I think this is stuff that we should be discussing.
Yeah.
I think people are conflating two different things.
Okay.
The activation of the National Guard in L.A. wasn't an activation of the National Guard against the citizens. They weren't doing any law enforcement action. What they were doing was they were being activated to protect the federal assets, meaning that they were there to protect ICE. They were there to protect the facilities that are run by the federal government. So the activation had nothing to do with any police action or anything against the citizens. It was literally the protection of federal assets. And that's the same, similarly, I say differently, the threats in Chicago and in other states are different from what happened in LA, but they can be correlated, which means that Donald Trump can deploy the National Guard or activate the National Guard if it's necessary to protect ICE agents who are doing lawful actions within the state. So that is authority to do, and that he can do, he should do if it is necessary. I would argue that Trump should not do anything close to that unless it's absolutely necessary. Now, there's an act, it's called an Insurrection Act,
okay,
where he can then activate the National Guard for purposes outside of protecting government assets or federal operations. He can actually do it to deploy them into the street to quell violence that's going on. Now, that's a high burden to prove. I don't believe at this point that Chicago is in the realm of having the Insurrection Act deployed. I think Trump do not have the right to do it, and I don't think he should do it. Now,
I'm not gonna lie, Chad. After I seen what happened in Nepal, I'm gonna be real. If that is crazy. That is crazy. I believe that would be something like an insurrection, like the early stages of that, what they did in Nepal. But yeah, what Chicago got going, I think that's it's terrible. A lot of people are losing their lives, but I don't think it's an insurrection either.
The governor does have the authority, and the governor is the commander-in-chief of the state, except for the Insurrection Act and things of that nature. They should come together, two leaders, to have a conversation. The problem is that Pritzker and some of these other governors, they want political expediency and they want political talking points, and they don't want Trump to get a win, and they don't want to look bad to the constituency, so they don't even want to talk to the man. should happen in a reasonable society is that people in Chicago, the governor, the mayors, the governor of Chicago and the
Pritzker need to talk to Trump. If Trump's willing to talk, to have a convo with Pritzker need to talk to Trump. Running's not gonna do it, you know what I'm saying? Standing, like, especially if these people have aspirations to move higher, like you're gonna have to have these conversations. I mean, we seen Trump step into North Korea, man. We seen Putin come to Alaska, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you at least got to be able to talk to the man, get on the phone with him. Pritzker be like, hey, man, I had a conversation with Trump. I told him, like, look, man, you know what your authority has, you know what it doesn't have, or whatever, man. But just avoiding the situation entirely is it's not really diplomatic at this point, not as a governor.
The governor of Illinois and the mayor of Chicago should be able to sit down at the table with Donald Trump and say, we do have issues of violence. How do we work together? It's not Trump just deploying the National Guard, thwarting the
Thank you, Big Niche, for the super chat. Thank you, Big Niche, for the super chat. Everybody, double tap the screen, shut a live out for me. We are trying to get to 100 likes. And we are trying to get to 32,000 subscribers. We're 20 subscribers away from the next sub goal.
The authority or thwarting the will of the governor and the mayor. I don't think it should go that way. I think they should have a conversation that could be had. No one in America, unless they're completely ignorant, that Chicago isn't a problem. And
Chicago's a big ass problem. Chicago's a big damn problem. Ain't no question about it.
Where our people live, that we see 70 shootings over the week. Like, that's too much, man. And Stephen A., it's not even just that. It's not just the shootings, bro. It's the school system. It's the young brothers without fathers, young brothers incarcerated that get out and recidivate. It's young brothers that don't have no hope in Chicago in many cases. This is why we see the violence. There was a young man that came out and said Donald Trump shouldn't deploy the National Guard. And he wasn't making a threat. He was just saying that the YNs, they call them, in Chicago and some of these other areas are violent. Fight back. There will be a lot of death that happened as a result of this deployment. Well, what I would say to that, Stephen A., to try to shorten it up a little bit, I know I'm long-winded sometimes, but I think that they should come together. I don't want to see Donald Trump unilaterally make the decision to deploy the National Guard. I like that he threatened it. I like that he's calling out these mayors and governors so the people can start paying attention to what's really going on. And the people can see that your governor really don't have a vested interest in helping you. Because why all of a sudden are they saying, no, we have crime under control. Oh, we have deployed this measure. Oh, we are doing this. Where have y'all been for the last 30 years? We're 40 or 50 years. Where have y'all been? Well, they would say Donald Trump threatened the National Guard to get people to, at least the politicians, to try to do something in Chicago.
But Governor Westmore in Maryland would say things have gotten better and the numbers prove it. Mayor Johnson in Chicago and Governor Pritzker would say the numbers have gotten better. Certainly it's still a problem, but we are showing that we're addressing it because the numbers have dissipated. And I guess what I would ask, and this is why, because I respect you so much and I wanted you on the show, as black men, when we know it's a problem in Chicago. We know it's a problem in DC. We ain't blind. There ain't no question about it. We got that part. The flip side to it is that even though it might be a leftist propaganda machine that's talking about authoritarianism when they mention Donald Trump, even though that might be some of their agendas, sometimes it doesn't seem false because of how he comes at it. And the one question I'm asking myself is, A, does he really warrant our trust? We don't have anybody. We don't see anybody that looks like us as a member of this cabinet. I don't see anybody like that. We see unemployment, even though it's not awful. The bottom line is it's worse for black folks than it is for anybody else. I don't see him helping that. So I'm asking myself these questions about Donald Trump only from the standpoint that if we sit back and we allow this to happen, Officer Tatum, then what's going to stop the precedent from being reset? Because if he's doing it now and he's getting away with it, what about his successor, whoever that may be? Could be a J.D. Vance, could be a Marco Rubio, or assuming the Democrats don't get their act together and they're going to lose another election, not just the midterm, but the presidency in 2028. If we let him continue to get away with this kind of verbiage and these kind of actions that appears to...
Don, said, I'm going to keep it real and ask a question. When these young guns are out there, do they not think about their first kiss or their first love? Do they ever think about that, or are they just surviving? They think about all of that. They think about all of that. Like these YNs, they got relationships. These YNs, they like to do other things. They play basketball, football. They might have other passions, but they're so deeply rooted into the trenches right now that eventually a situation is gonna rise, and they make a decision. And once they make a decision, it's no coming back. Whether it's the neighborhood you from, whether it's the family members that you live with, these are still kids, man. They still have they like to play the video games. They like to, you know what I'm saying, laugh and joke. Like, they're still kids. They're just messed up right now. You know what I'm saying? Messed up situation. But yeah, they think about kisses, first kisses. They think about other things. You know, they're not just NPCs that only thing they do is shoot, kill. Nah, they're kids.
The lead towards authoritarianism, where does that leave us? To that you ask, and I'm talking about us as black people. You answer that in what way, sir?
Yeah, great question. I think that, you know, what we have to evaluate is, you know, the numbers that they present. Now, ask people who live in Chicago. Do you think Chicago's crime is down 20%, 15%, whatever percentage they present? Go to Philly. Go to anywhere in the hood where black people live, where people know it's crazy out there. People are terrified to live there. You know, grandma and them, these young brothers, they're...
Do I think it's okay to bring the National Guard to Chicago? Yes. I don't think it... How can I put it? Yes. As I think it's going to be a show of force. I don't think that they're going to just put them in the south side and the west side, but I think they're going to use it as a show of force. And something's got to happen, man. I mean, federal time's not working. It's deeply rooted in the culture out there. It's been there even before it was, you know, the gangs that are now. There were other different Italian gangs. Chicago's been a gangster city since I've heard about it. And it's like, shit, yeah, it's bad, yeah. Am I saying it's right? I don't mean that legally. We have to go through it. We have to go through it legally. But does Chicago need it? Probably. Hell yeah. Probably. Hell yeah. Little Rock too, if you want to be real. I'm from Little Rock. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not from Little Rock. I'm from Arkansas. I'm 30 minutes from Little Rock. 30 minutes from Little Rock is where I was born and raised. So it's like that Tri-City area, it might need something like that, man, because we got big billboards in the counties where it says gun crime equals fed time. Don't nobody care. Nobody care, man. It is what it is.
Using young brothers now, Stephen A., to commit crimes because they're lighter on crime for juveniles. So they got our young brothers out here robbing people and killing people and shooting, doing drive-bys, and they don't get no time in jail. They're that's why the YN word is now a big thing. It's trendy because our young brothers are doing it now. So what I'm saying is,
like, I'm watching YNs say, and not even just the black YNs, I mean of all races. When I say YN, I'm in this context, I'm not just talking about the black youth. I'm talking about YNs across the board. They don't care. When I tell you, they do not care. I tell this story a lot. I had a little partner, and he told me out of his mouth that he wanted to do something to somebody because his partner had done something to somebody. His partner got 90 years in the penitentiary, 40, 50 years in the penitentiary for shooting somebody. He like, man, dang, I need to get me one. He got one, I need to get me one. And I'm sitting here like, for what? I'm talking to him. Like, bro, like, for what? What's the point? Is you not gonna make no money off of it? For what? But it's the music. It's the music. It's the being tough. Back in the day, you know what I'm saying, it was more of punching them out. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could fight, whatever. Now it's like, shit, people saying, I'm 110 pounds. What I'm gonna fight for? I got a Glock. That's the new thing. They don't want to work out. They don't want to lift no weights. They don't want to hit no push-ups. They saying, I paid $500 for this Glock. What the hell I need to do some push-ups for?
There need to be more than just statistical numbers that they're putting out here and trying to hope that we believe them. Because when you don't enforce the law, the numbers go down. Meaning that if you have a shortage of law enforcement officers, you have a shortage of people calling and reporting crimes that are committed, or you have a shortage of arresting people for certain crimes, then you can fluff the numbers any way you can. I want to hear from the people who live there. I want people to physically go there and tell me it's safe. When the Memorial Day weekend, they got 70-some people getting shot and people getting shot in the head with stray bullets. And that's just in one city, Stephen A. Not all over the country where these black communities are. Now, the authoritative part of it, or authoritarian.
Yep.
Authoritarian.
Yes.
I'm saying the
you
word
got
wrong.
it. You got it.
So, if they're saying that he is acting in a nature that's not geared toward or appropriate for his position, then I also.
From
Dorsey.
Oh, hell no, Dorsey. Dorsey, call back, man. What the hell is going on, Dorsey? You gonna call in here with that raspy ass voice like you just woke up, man? What the hell is going on, Dorsey?
Hey, morning, Plug.
What's up, man? I'm glad you cleared your damn throat the way you said Dorsey. Shit.
Hey, Chicago got a problem because Chicago no longer, I'm talking about the criminal element, okay? There's no more organized crime, okay? Used to be when you was in a gang and you was doing thugging stuff, you had to go through the lieutenants, the sergeants. They called the shots of when violence was going to be committed or when there was going to be a drive-by. Now you got what we call independents, meaning that these is dudes who non-affiliated. They just out here doing whatever they feel like. You understand where I'm coming from?
Uh-huh.
It's just like if you were in prison. You know, there's structure in prison, even though a lot of people say there aren't. Hey, man, there's rules and regulations that you got to go by, you know, before you can get a green light on somebody. But these YNs, they're just shooting up whoever, whatever. People standing in front of clubs, people standing on the corner, people just walking down the street. And, you know, I remember back in the day, you know, in the 80s, in order for you to get on, you had to kill somebody, right? That was your initiation, right?
Uh-huh.
So
do something. You had to do something. Even in the mafia days, you had to do something. Be an enforcer or be a money man. You had to either do some dirt or bring a lot of money in. One or the other.
Right, but you had to get permission first to go ahead before you made them moves. Right? It was understood. Now, like they said, these YNs. And at first I was confused with it because every time I looked around, I saw a thug with a New York Yankee hat on, right?
Uh-huh.
I was like, man, why are these fools over here in St. Louis wearing a Yankee hat? And
listen, that is not
the meaning of the word.
They is not wearing Yankee hats to be called YNs, man. I'm gonna tell you that, Dorsey. They wearing Yankee hats for some other shit. They not wearing it for YNs. Go ahead.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
What's the other shit?
It's not. Yeah. They YN.
So when I start seeing YN, I start seeing it in Florida. I start seeing it in New Orleans.
It started because you remember when they had censorship on social media? You really couldn't just type out the word nigga, you know what I'm saying? The chat would block it or whatever.
Okay,
That's where YN came from. When they did the YT for white people, when you couldn't type out white people, it was YT. You know what I'm saying? That's where YN came from.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, man, these dudes is tripping. But like I said, I think that, number one, if they are under the age of 15, and hear me out, under the age of 15, they need to lock up the parents. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's ridiculous. You've been putting these kids in jail time and time and time and time again, and the parents have done nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Here in California, once you get in to youth authority, you're a ward of the state until you turn 21. Even when you get released, you're still a ward of the state. And I think that's what they need to really do to these. No more slaps on the wrist. No more.
So now, I'm going to keep it real. So now you want to bring back 3 strikes. All the black people had a problem with 3 strikes. Now they're trying to bring 3 strikes back. You with it?
No, I ain't talking about 3 strikes.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh man, it's like, look, we gonna lock your little monkey ass up. That's what we gonna do until you turn 25. So get right. But then don't put them in no Camp Snoopy. Put them in there with the big boys.
Hell no. Hell no. Man, you know what they gonna do to that kid in there, man?
You damn right. That's what he deserved. Man, he killed somebody. What you talking about? Somebody. On the hell anyway.
Man,
so you might as well
Dorsey.
bring hell early to him.
Okay, so listen. You know that, like, they don't just have just a place for people who unalive people. You know, like, prisons kind of work where if you commit any kind of crime, your ass going to the pen. You know what I'm saying? So when you say this, I'm trying to be specific. Are you saying only for the 15-year-old murderers, or are you saying for the 15-year-old criminals?
15-year-old murderers.
What about manslaughter? What if it's a fight and you got a 15-year-old, he get in a fight, he knocked the kid out, the other kid hits his head and passes away unexpectedly. Should that kid go to adult prison?
Manslaughter. So, he on the level 2. He gonna do what, 5 years at the most?
It not depend on where the hell you at. You can get a long up. Some people getting hid behind a manslaughter charge.
What?
Hell yeah. Man, manslaughter, what is the max manslaughter carry? Man, they'll max your ass out depending on what you do.
Okay, in a civilized state then, we talking about a civilized state. In a civilized state, manslaughter get you 5 years. Okay.
25? And max your ass out,
no,
25.
If it's manslaughter, that means that you didn't mean to kill him.
Man, that shit still don't matter. That's a Class B felony and it's violent. Man, let it be your second charge. Listen, I'm going to tell you like this. Let it be your second violent in Arkansas. Say you done got into a domestic some shit or whatever, done got into, girl called police or whatever the hell is going on. You done got in a bar fight, some shit, like whatever's going on. You fuck around, catch a manslaughter, and they give you that B, that's your second violent in Arkansas. You finna do 100% or whatever they give you.
Wow. Well, I ain't coming to Arkansas. Okay, but like I said, we talking about Illinois. We talking about the blue states. Let's put it that way. In the blue states, if you get a manslaughter charge as a child, then yeah, you need to still go to prison. Okay, it might be a level 1, level 2 prison, but you're still going to prison. I think that all this they need to go ahead and separate the men from the boys. Because if I'm being honest with you, bro, if we was in Africa, they would be called a child soldier. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah. Thank you, Lala.
So if they consider soldiers, then they considered men. They out here playing soldier. They out here calling themselves soldiers. So make their ass take the consequences of a soldier. In the military, you still got for Leavenworth when you do stuff out of whack. They give you 20 years for manslaughter in the military. Okay? So my whole thing to you is, hey, it's not about being tough on crime. It's about enforcing laws that's already on the book. And no exceptions. If Mr. Gilmore's son kills somebody, okay, he gets the same time as everybody else.
I'm on that. I'm saying like there are teens that are charged as adults. But you're saying send them at 15 years old to a maximum security prison. And I'm telling you, that sounds crazy.
Hey, they gonna PC up anyway.
Man, ain't no fucking. What if PC full, boy? They is finna, man. Listen, I think that they should go to juvenile until they turn 18. At 18, they should be transferred to the county and then head to the penitentiary.
Oh hell no.
That's what I think should happen.
Well, I mean, I understand and I respect your opinion. But let me ask you something. Didn't Charles?
I'm plugged. Dorsey is the other one. I'm plugged. Dorsey, introduce yourself to the chat. They asking who is Dorsey.
Oh, I'm Dorsey. I'm a 63-year-old Marine Corps veteran.
Dorsey is on the phone. I have the phone number pinned, Patrick. Dorsey is on the call line right now. Go ahead, Dorsey.
So I'm from the old school where when you had a beef with somebody, you did it with your fists. You didn't pull out no guns. Now, we had cases of hearing about older guys shooting people and all that. But as far as young, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, hey, man, you had to learn how to throw them hands. Those who couldn't throw hands, they took the little karate class, or whatever it was, because, that's what we said. That's just the way it used to. And then usually after you got to fighting with the person, you wind up being even better friends with the person or having a mutual respect. Now these people are quick to pick up guns at the slightest provocation. Some of them just pick up the gun out of boredom.
A lot of them is vengeance too. It is boredom, but a lot of it, like when we talking about a lot of this stuff, a lot of this shit be vengeance, man. It be vengeance. It be wars going on. Kids are born into certain situations, like we watched the Lil Rock documentary the other day, and we watched the Memphis one. It's like this, Dorsey. What you gonna do if somebody got off for killing your pops in the hood?
They got off?
Never went to jail. He just in the hood every day at the liquor store. Smoked your pops when you was like 7, 8. But you see him at the liquor store every day.
Gotta let it go.
Okay. I'm just asking.
What does it say? Vengeance is mine, says the Lord, right?
Okay. And a lot of people just think differently.
I'm not going to say I'm not going to be on my hands and knees praying to God that a truck hit that nigga. Nah.
That's a good answer.
In fact, you could stalk somebody and wait till they get into the crosswalk and then gun it.
That's just like, you might well blow them down. Now, what's the difference between blowing them down?
Yeah, but these kids can't even shoot straight. They got switches.
I get what you're saying. But dang, yeah.
If you're going to be one-on-one, I mean, what happened to stabbing people?
I'm just saying that this is the situation that a lot of these kids are faced in, whether it be a father, a brother, a sister, uncle, cousin, niece, nephew, any of that. It's like the justice system might have failed them, and they take it into their own hand.
Hey, I like Samuel Jackson. They dead, and I'm glad they did, and I hope they burn in hell. Everybody else is doing normal stuff. Now, I don't have no problems with a person selling drugs. I don't have no problem a person defending themselves selling drugs. But what I do have a problem with is people going by there shooting up innocent people. I mean, when you hit a kid, man, and it's a little girl, you don't have no reluctance. I think if you did it and it was an accident and you turned yourself in, you're taking responsibility for your actions. Yeah, if you killed the person you intended to kill, well, I'm still going to have to judge you on that. But when you not only killed the person you was aiming at, but like 3 other innocent bystanders, you got to pay for them deaths that was unnecessary, taking the blood of the innocent. Now, I mean, one thing I don't like, and I'm being honest with you, I hate it when these little rappers get up there and talk about they want to thank God and whoop-de-whoop, the wop and all that, but they the biggest demon, but then they say I'm on demon time. Now, which one you going to be? You can't be both. You understand where I'm coming from?
No, I do.
Yeah. So my whole thing is, now this is talking as a father, okay? And I'm going to make sure my son understands what accountability means. If you do something, hey, you got to pay the price. Remember, we used to listen to stuff like Beretta. don't do the crime if you can't do the time, right?
Right.
Still applies. Ain't no mercy. My name is Percy, and I don't show no mercy.
That was one thing that I kind of took with me in the streets. Like, hey, look, man. I kind of knew the situations I was getting myself into. I wasn't really one of those people that didn't take calculated risk. The risk I took was kind of calculated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understood, like, I'm not going to fuck with this over. Excuse me, Chad, it's the morning show. I'm not going to mess with this over here because I don't like the penalty that this over here carries. That was my thought process.
Exactly. You know, you didn't sell crack because you knew crack got a bigger penalty. So you stuck to coke. You see what I'm coming from? So there's things.
I didn't
some
sell
of
coke
us
either.
know
I
how
didn't
to
sell
finesse.
coke either, like Chad. I didn't sell coke either. Go ahead.
Some of us, hey, you knew to sell grams, not zips. You understand what I'm saying? You kept it to the 7, right? You kept it to the 7, right? You knew the boundaries of the law. You understand what I'm saying?
All my charges was weed charges. If y'all want to be real, chat, all my drug charges was weed charges, man. If this was back with the new laws and shit, I wouldn't even have went to jail for half of this shit.
And it's the men that's going to jail. So why is it all the women are going to college and all the niggas is going to jail?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I had some lean too, though. I did have some lean, chat. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I had some lean on me. Go ahead. There was some red.
Oh, some red? Oh, okay. Hey, a little Sprite in the cup, too?
Nah, we're not going to reminisce. We're not going to go down that road. I'm clean.
Oh, okay.
I'm clean
hey,
from
man, I remember when
promethazine, codeine. I'm clean.
Talking about the scissor. Sipping on the scissor. Yeah, that used to be the jam back then. But anyway, like I'm saying, it's time that we made the children grow up. Not children anymore. Even in the Bible, they say after 13 years of age, you're a man and you're a woman. Legally, I think it should be that way. Now, sociably, yeah, we still should treat them like children, but when it comes to the ramifications of the law, remember them 2 boys? This is Arkansas, right? Remember, this is about maybe 20 years back, right?
Hell,
remember them 2 little boys who shot them?
Dorsey, I'm only 32. You talking about some shit that happened when I was 12.
Probably at the school when they did it.
Go ahead.
You don't remember the 2 little white boys who got their rifles and was shooting little white girls outside the school?
Hell nah.
Yeah, man, that was about 20 years ago, right?
Shit, I don't know.
They had little 22 caliber rifles, and they was doming little girls. 2 of them.
Damn.
You know, yeah. I mean, you know, you can Google it, you'll see it. But see, my whole thing is, man, these kids don't have no real penalties. You know, let's be real, man. Prison ain't nothing but a timeout. You eat sandwiches and cookies, and they give you a juice box. You know, if you're good, they might give you some chocolate milk.
Right.
And that's what it is, just taking a big old timeout. Saying? And for a person who had to take a timeout, hey, I got some good right. I got some get right. Never again. I ain't never doing this. Right? So, yeah, violence is not the answer. You understand what I'm saying? It's a substitute, but it's not the answer. For the kids to commit the ultimate act of violence, I mean, taking up a human's life. Okay, so let me ask you something. If you had a little monster, right, and he had your 4-year-old, right, and he bashed the head in with a rock, think that he's a normal child?
I don't know, Dorsey. Hold on.
Cause there was a little teenage boy who did that to a 4-year-old kid, right?
Right.
Okay, that's not too long ago. Okay, so these monsters need to be dealt with. If if it's an accidental shooting, the kid was playing with the firearm and they accidentally shot their buddy, okay, yeah, that's still manslaughter, but, you see that it was an accident. It wasn't intentional. But when you see that somebody is actually, especially if they got switches, it's illegal in itself. That's special circumstances. You see where I'm coming from? Your intentions wasn't. That's a weapon of mass injury or destruction. I don't see the destruction part, but yeah, that's killing. I mean, we went through that kind of stuff here in Los Angeles, and yeah, that's the reason why they brought in the 3 strikes, because everything else wasn't working. Sending them to youth authority, sending them to the pen, it didn't change their attitude. So my whole thing is, if we're going to have these type of monsters, deal with them like a monster.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, California don't do chain gangs. Do that. Okay? But I think that, your debt to society, Dirty Dozen, if they go, if they want to reform, then okay, go to the military, but you're gonna be on them suicide squads for a year. The French Foreign Legion, you know how the French Foreign Legion work, right?
How does it work?
Okay, you can be a criminal, right, from any country, right?
Uh-huh.
And you on the run, right? But if you make it to France and you join the French Foreign Legion, the French Royal Legion will give you a whole new identity. The Catholic Church has the same rules, but it's a little, but you get a whole new identity. Nobody knows what you did.
Damn.
And most of the time, if you're in the French Foreign Legion, most of the time you have a lifetime commitment to being in the French Foreign Legion.
Damn.
They're kind of considered like mercenaries.
Yeah, I ain't even know that. I was messaging the teacher back, man, checking on my son. But yeah, Dorsey, let's play the rest of this clip, man, and I'll get you back up here after that.
No, man. But like I said, man, I 100% agree that troops should have been sent to Chicago. I thought Obama was slacking in his job because he's from Chicago and he knew this nonsense was going on. So he was supposed to have been the first president to do that nonsense. Now we got to pay the piper, and I don't feel sorry for them. And they can, they can act the ass and shoot at the military if they want to. I'm not gonna sit up there and cry if them soldiers put some bullets in them. Okay, you brought it on yourself because you could have stayed in the house. That's the way I look at it. You could have did all your dirt before curfew.
All right. Well, all right, Dorsey, man, I'm going to get you back up here in a little bit, man.
Hey, ain't no problem, man. Hey, at top of the morning to all of you, especially you, La. La. Bye.
All right, La with the shout out, man. Let's get back into this clip, man.
Say, what exactly is he doing? Saying that black people shouldn't be able to live in Chicago? Is he hurting black people and saying black people shouldn't be able to go to schools, or he's doing something to thwart the black community? He's saying, I want the community to be safe. I'm deploying these people to help young brothers not...
What's up, Stacy? We're 73 subscribers away from 32K, chat. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. Let's push to 32K right quick.
Murdered every day in the streets. So I would argue, what is he actually doing? If he was doing something nefarious against black people, then I would say, yeah, our antenna should be popping up that maybe he can't be trusted. But the reality of it is, Stephen A., is I don't think he's doing anything against black folks. It's that we don't have enough black folks standing up that are in positions of power to do this. Why does Trump have to do it? Why couldn't Obama do it? Why couldn't some of these black leaders say, enough is enough, doggone it? Too many young brothers are dying in the streets. 15 is too many. When are we going to say enough is enough? Because, Stephen A., we don't see this in the white community to the degree that we see in the black community. We don't see drive-by shooting. We don't see Memorial Day weekends where 70-some white people getting shot. We don't see a term that white people use for YNs. We don't see them running and ransacking stores.
Why do you think we're seeing it? But why do you think we're seeing it in our communities? Let me ask your perspective about that. I mean, since you brought that up, why do we see it?
Thank you, Big Niche.
In our community?
culture, Stephen A. It's culture. Like, I remember when I was young, and I used to believe this stuff. I hated white people because they were the enemy. The white folks don't like you. I hated white people. So I grew up, and if the environment is anything like when I grew up, this is why it's like this. Young brothers I just go to school with, the kids that went to school, they played sports, they did well, they had a daddy at home. Those that didn't do well didn't have anybody at home, and they didn't have no structure. So they can stay out all night. They'll sell drugs and sell dope to help their mama and do all this stuff. Daddy wasn't having that. You don't cuss in the house with my daddy. Like, you crazy. You think you're not going to wash the dishes and fold the clothes? You think you're not going to wipe that tub out when you finish taking a bath? Like,
I agree with the second part of this statement for sure. I have to go back and listen to what he said at first, but yeah, most definitely. My kids know, like, look, man, we're gonna clean up around here, man. My kids help me cut the grass. They help me take the trash out. Like, my kids are very active kids. I'm trying to raise them to be, you know, self-sufficient. But I do agree with what he says on the last part of that, man. Pop's not having it, man. My kids know they can't cuss in front of me. I still don't cuss in front of my pops like that. Man, I'm 32 years old, and I sit around my pops. We might be having a beer together, and I still won't cuss, man. I think the most I say is like, damn. That's probably far as I'm gonna go with my OG. Probably is damn. And my mom, when mom was alive, I never cussed around my mom. Yeah, that was crazy. Cussing around mom was crazy.
And the community is the deterrent of young boys losing themselves and being hyper emotional and doing things that you would never do with a daddy at your house. So that glorification of violence. When I was young, I was about, I was 8 smoking weed with my cousins.
Now that's crazy. I was not 8 years old smoking weed, and I was not with my cousins. Officer Tatum was 8 years old smoking weed with his cousins. Chad, I was not doing that. You know why? Because when I was 8 years old, my daddy knew where the hell I was at. He was probably somewhere looking around.
Been arrested for it. That was cool. I didn't want to be like my dad, right? My dad would go to work every day. I didn't want to be like black dudes, that corny dudes with their pants around their waist, being a doctor, lawyer. I didn't want to be like them. I wanted to be like the dope boy in the community.
When did it change
because
for you?
He had.
When did it change for you?
I think my mama slapped me one time in the back of my head. I don't think my mama never really just slapped me. My dad never, you know what I'm saying? I got whoopings, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't getting slapped around, punched on, but my mama did slap me in the back of my head one time.
Man, when I went to college, it's when I went to college. Let me say that. When I was younger, I joined Five Deuce Hoover Crip because my cousins were in Five Deuce Hoover Crip. They jumped me and my brother in on the couch. Now, of course, they treat us a little lighter than you do in a real gang jump in because they didn't hit us in the face because they didn't want my mama and them to know we got jumped in. So we got jumped in the Five Deuce Hoover Crip. We banging until my mama and them found out. Then they threw our rags away that we were hanging out of the back pocket. High school, I got tats all over my arm. I got gold teeth in my mouth, sagging my pants. It wasn't, Stephen A., until I went to college and I was out of the community, and I was able to looking in and being like, this ain't normal. That people ain't got no.
What's up, Mama Money?
This ain't normal. That people are Five Deuce Hoover Crip gang banging. We saying the N-word every day. I got gold teeth on me. I got Young Savage tattooed on my stomach. This ain't normal, and it's not even healthy. And so when I enjoy being safe and not having to worry about wearing the wrong colors, going down the street and you got the wrong colors in your shoelaces when you got your brand new J's. Somebody may charge you up over it. Somebody may shoot you. Somebody may rob you. They may think you banging. You may get caught up at the convenience store because some dudes got beef and get shot. When I moved out of that environment, I realized, Stephen A., like, that's not normal, bro. Domestic violence. Me and my cousin them used to fight all the time. Like, you say something wrong, we throwing hands. That's not normal. It took me to kind of get out of that environment to realize, man, I don't think I want to live like this. And there's stuff that I see white people doing. We only had the mindset and we did that, we would flourish way more than we do. One is working together, right?
Lala, chill out, Lala.
I'll let you. Let me chime in with this regard. I hear what you're saying, and I don't disagree with most of what you're saying. I do think, however, is that the danger, and I will openly admit I struggle. That's why I like talking to you. I like talking to liberals and conservatives and getting back and forth, because it edifies me. It just makes me better. So I appreciate y'all. Whereas a challenge for me, Officer Tatum, is that on one hand, I can look at you and I can say most of what you're saying is absolutely right. I know from personal experience growing up in Hollis, Queens, growing up the streets of New York City, it is what it is. You're absolutely right about that. The flip side to it, however, is this. If you allow of the world, the Trump administrations of the world, the Trump surrogates and acolytes of the world, do that stuff, right? It becomes distractionary because focusing on that makes you say, yeah, I got...
Chad, I'm sitting here thinking, like, it's no way in hell 8 years old smoking weed was crazy.
For them again, make sure, you know, the liberals ain't back in office and they stay in office. And then, you know what, tariff wars, all right, that we don't know whether or not that's necessarily going to work out for it. We get a whole bunch of pledges, you know, from corporations, companies, countries, etc. But that doesn't mean it's going to reach fruition. There's so many things, the war in Ukraine and Russia, that hasn't ended. You know, Israel and Hamas, even though we understand what Israel has been doing. There's so many different things to point to that hasn't come to fruition in a fashion and a manner that the Trump administration said so, that pointing to these things that you are legitimately pointing out then compels folks to say, we don't need the liberals back in office that played a significant role in letting all of this happen. We need to keep those cats in office and they're not held accountable for what promises were made but not necessarily kept. How do you, as a black conservative, answer that?
Stephen A., I think that it's very simple. You know, I know that Trump is not perfect, and I know that he's acting in good faith, and that's all I expect from any president, right? Because we don't live in a dictatorship, and he can't do everything he say he want to do it every time because there's layers to it. You know, he's getting sued in courts all over the country because he wants to deport certain people, so he can't get his agenda done. When he wanted to build a wall last time, he couldn't get the funding because Congress wouldn't pass a budget for the funding. And so I understand that every president is not going to do everything, but the way I evaluate it, Stephen A., is in good faith. Are you acting in good faith? Is the tariff war something that Donald Trump is doing in good faith that's going to benefit America? And I think that it has. We've negotiated so many more deals. We've gotten so many countries to invest hundreds of billions of dollars into America. And so I think it's going on the right path, and nobody's willing to touch it except Donald Trump. They're just willing to kick the thing down the bucket down the road until somebody's have to say, we have to do the hard thing to get us to the place that we need to be in America. And, go ahead.
Is it acting in good faith if you're throwing out 4 or 5 different executive orders, scaling back our connection to black history, like with the Smithsonian Museum and other things where those executive orders were being put out there? You've got black folks that feel like this man is trying to detach us from black history, from let the world knowing just as much as we've always known about black history, or the more that we should know. When you hear about things like that, is that really looking out for our best interest, or is it looking out for his?
Stephen A., if it was correct that Donald Trump was trying to eliminate black history from the Smithsonian or history in general, trying to degrade black existence, I would never support that dude a day in my life. I'll get on your show right now and say, screw that guy. And I don't support him, or I'll never vote for him. The problem is that it's a conflation, and some people have a vested interest in saying things that may not necessarily be true. Okay. There is no evidence that Donald Trump is trying to eliminate black history. It's impossible to eliminate black history. It is impossible. Our stamp is on everything that exists. You can't change that just because, even if you try to do it through the Smithsonian, that's not the only place where history is espoused. I mean, or exposed. Right. That's not the only place that history can be learned. We still teach black history in college. We still got HBCUs. You can still go online right now and learn anything you want to learn about history. But the truth is, he's not doing that at the Smithsonian. What happened is they're not telling the full story. They're telling a story that seems to be biased against white people and making it seem like white people just, they created slavery. White people was the only people that owned slaves in America. White people, you know, it's this whole anti-white sentiment that's not the full projection of what history was. There were a lot of black people that owned slaves. The first legal slave owner in the United States history was a black man, Anthony Johnson. So, and we can go down the list. People don't know much about Harriet Tubman. They didn't know that she was married to a black man who was a free black man at the time when she started the Underground Railroad. Actually, her husband told her that not to do it, which now he looked like a coward for doing. But you know, think of how does that work? You know, all the black people that own black slaves, Juneteenth. And this is the things that I'm like, why is this not in the Smithsonian? And Juneteenth. People think that Juneteenth, being that in Galveston, Texas, was the last remnant of black slaves that were released and freed. That wasn't true. It wasn't until a year later that the Choctaw Indian finally released their slaves. Indians own slaves. So when we talk about slavery, when we talk about all this, we have to talk about it in the context of reality, or we develop hatred and misinformation. Slavery wasn't about race. Anybody that learned or studied slavery, I studied Africana studies when I was in college. Slavery was not about race. Slavery was about availability of cheap labor. Most of the slaves went to South America. Not most of them didn't even come to America. The North didn't have slaves. Only the South had slaves. We fought a war, the Civil War. The portion of the United States that never have slaves, that black people were free in the colonies.
What's up, Leo? What's up, Essence?
You know, it's a lot of nuance there, Stephen A.
Understood.
Who helped Harriet Tubman free black people from slavery? It was white folks. You know, so there's a lot of history there that I think that Donald Trump is trying to correct to make sure that we're not overemphasizing hatred towards one group when it's not necessary. But if Donald Trump was doing it, I wouldn't support him whatsoever. I think black people need to stop listening to naysayers online and people who have a vested interest to hate the man. Go look at it for yourself. Go look at what Donald Trump is trying to do at the Smithsonian. Go look at it. Go read it. People don't read what he's trying to remove.
So last question to you. With that being said, feeling, do you think we're in a better place now or worse than when he took office, considering the direction the country is going in, and especially since you got cats like Steve Bannon, along with others, talking about him circumventing the 22nd Amendment of the Constitution and getting a third term, you know, in office? I mean, your thoughts about that? I'll give you the last word on that.
Yeah, if Donald Trump tried to seek a third term in office, I will come on your show and I will tell the world that I'll never support that and I'll never vote for him for a third term. That's not the way our government has worked. That's not the way it should work. You get 2 terms, you out. Unfortunately, he missed the middle term. He got 2 terms, not consecutively. He's out. Now it's time to get another person when Donald Trump is no longer there, and everybody got to compete. You compete for our vote, and we'll get the vote. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Republican or Democrat. It just is no Democrat that's saying anything that make any sense about anything in America today, in my personal opinion. So I don't foresee them ever getting my vote. But I will never accept that. The America should never accept that. And if Donald Trump ever attempt to do it, I'm going to call him out for it. It's not right. Do I think that America is better now than it was under Joe Biden? 1,000%, and I think we're headed in the right direction. Just the securing of the United States border is huge. Getting these illegal criminals out of our country is huge.
But a lot of them ain't criminals. A lot of them ain't criminals. I mean,
but they still here illegally, and they shouldn't even been here. And the reason that it makes me upset, because I know a lot of people who came here illegally. How in the world do the people pay all that money to come here illegally and wait 15 years and 10 years and 5 years, and somebody just sneak in the country? The people that did it right way, they want to be a part of the American dream too. They needed a job too. So why is it fair that they get to come here illegally? I say this all the time. When I went to the university, at the University of Arizona, of course I was on scholarship, but I earned my way to that university. Right. Many people had to pay thousands of dollars a semester just to go to the university, plus housing and all this stuff. Just imagine somebody walk in the university and take a seat, and they get to stay there just because they just walked in the room in the lecture hall, and now they get to participate in class and they get all this stuff funded. That's crazy. You don't get to come to America and take resources from people who paid to be here, people who did it the legal way, the American citizens. We could be helping homeless. Instead, we're giving hundreds of billions of dollars to illegal aliens that shouldn't even be here. So, them are criminals doing heinous crimes, murder, rape, you name it. Then other people get caught up in that. But at the end of the day, if you don't want to go and get deported, you should come here in the right way. One of the girls that was a friend of mine in Arizona, she owned a sushi place. I didn't know she was illegal. They deported her. She had a deportation order for 20 years. Hey, a sushi joint. She was a great person. I would fight for her to have a right to be here in America, because she's the type of person that we need in America, who's paying taxes, creating jobs, staying out of the criminal justice system. But at the end of the day, you had 20 years to do this, and you didn't do it. But they did it. So it's not fair to them. But Donald Trump, with the securing of the border, illegal aliens, getting investments of billions of dollars back to the United States of America, peace deals that he signed and chartered with so many different countries that have been, they actually want him to be nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Hopefully we come to a conclusion in Israel. Hopefully we come to a conclusion in Ukraine. He's just one person. He can't do it all. But all of the things that he has been doing has been tremendously effective. And I love the fact that he's correcting the script and not letting us go down this woke path of advocating based on somebody's race and not the content of their character. DEI was wrong.
I got you.
And we don't need to do that. There's qualified black people that can be pilots. There's qualified brothers and sisters that are smart
and I'm with
that
you.
have Ivy League degrees and can do all of this stuff. We don't need y'all to be trying to play white guilt and put us in the places that some of us aren't qualified for.
We don't disagree with that in terms of theory and in your premise.
What's up, Falcon?
Say, however, is that you can't turn around. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him. You can't turn around and you eradicate these programs, and then when you hire people, quote unquote, the right way, everybody is somebody that look like him, that shares his same pigmentation and hue and what have you. Because don't tell me ain't a whole bunch of qualified black folks. You and I both know. You understand? And then when folks are getting furloughed, they're getting laid off, they're losing their jobs or whatever, the implication is that they only got a job because of DEI or something along those lines as opposed to actually being qualified. We can't let them get away with trying to disseminate that kind of message. Go ahead, real quick though. Go ahead.
I think we agree on this to a large degree, because I do believe that there should be more representation of black people in the Trump administration. I do.
And beyond.
The only important part is that there's not a lot of black people that are conservatives, or at least to say they're conservatives. And there's a lot of black people that don't want to be associated with Trump because they're gonna get killed by their own people if they somehow associated with him. I mean, look at what happened to his name now. It just escaped me. One of the greatest men to ever live, to ever do brain surgery.
Yeah, Ben Carson. Ben Carson.
Look what happened to Ben Carson. His legacy is tarnished because he somehow was associated with Trump. So I think there's a lot of black people that are afraid. But I do agree with you. I see the same thing you see, Stephen A. The world you can't make it up. I think there's a lot more qualified black people that should be in the Trump administration. Whether you have them in the press corps, whether you have them as your right-hand man, your chief of staff. I mean, I think there's more qualified black people. But we can't complain when we too afraid to stand up and be conservative. Gotcha. We can't complain when we don't even want nothing to do with Trump because we're afraid of our image. So in part, I think that's why we see it. But then also, I think that the DEI thing is just like Stephen A. When Joe Biden said, "I'm gonna pick a black woman for Supreme Court justice."
Couldn't do that. It was the wrong thing for him to say.
That set us back.
He should have never said that.
Us back.
He should have never said that. He should have never said that. He should have
don't
hired the
have to
best
say
qualified
that
person, and they just so happen to be black, as opposed to him saying that in advance, because it opened the floodgates for the conservatives to turn around and do the same.
Right. But to think about it, Stephen A., now people question if that woman qualified or not, because he go, "I'm gonna pick a black woman." All he had to do, even if he was gonna pick a black woman,
just do it.
That's why these people don't really care about us. They just talking. He could have said, "I'm gonna pick the most he could have built it up. I'm gonna pick the most qualified person that's ever been picked in the history of the Supreme Court justice," and just pick a black woman. There you go. DEI. Stephen A. DEI. Why do we need a program to say we need to hire more black people? Just hire more black people. Quit saying that we needed some number of representation.
Because listen, I gotta go, but I'm gonna end it by saying this, because systemically it's proven that unless it's enforced, it won't happen, because folks will always find a way to take care of their own. The power structure that exists who don't look anything like us. That would be the answer to that question. But I don't disagree with what you're saying in terms of how it should be. Ain't no question about that. Look, man, I could talk to you all day. This ain't gonna be
Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. That's the end of the Stephen A. Smith and Officer Tatum back and forth, man. I'm going to open the call lines back up if anybody wants to call in and talk about that. But before that, this is, they're saying this guy right here, this is from Victor's H 2020, HI, Victor's High 2020 over there on X. It says, pay attention to James Tallarico. He's 36. He's social media savvy. He communicates with all audiences calmly. He talks about issues not many Democrats talk about. He's a star. He's the future of our party. And now he's running for Senate in Texas. Watch this. So this is who the Democrats are. Sounds like they're really high on him in Texas. I don't know. I've never heard of him. 36. He's not too much older than me. What's up, DT?
In our country is not left versus right, it's top versus bottom.
I see they got the one kid right there on the back of the truck. I hope they're not finna play some little corny music, but I think they are.
Biggest divide in our country is not left versus right. It's top versus bottom. Billionaires want us looking left and right at each other so that we're not looking up at them. The people at the top work so hard to keep us angry and divided because our unity is a threat to their wealth and their power. So their social media algorithms and their cable news networks tear us apart. They divide us by party, by race, by gender, by religion, so that we don't notice that they're defunding our schools.
Deplorable, you never heard of this guy right here? I've never heard of him either.
Our health care and cutting taxes for themselves and their rich friends. It is the oldest strategy in the world. Divide and conquer. But we will not be conquered. We're underdog.
Just breaking this down from like a marketing standpoint, this is really good. This is really good. They got one black kid sitting on the truck right next to him. He's surrounded by a lot of people. They're at a church. The angle shows the crowd. He's not yelling and screaming. He's really good with his tone. He hits the tone on the key things, like when he was like not left, right, it's up, down, you know, looking at each other instead of looking at them. This is a nice clip. This clip right here, I don't know much about this guy, but this clip right here, when they say he's social media savvy, if whether it's him or it's his team, this clip right here is really good. Even the way they got it looking overcast, whether it was really overcast out there or not, but whatever, what do they call it, color grading they put on this video, it sets the tone.
In this fight, we're going up against those billionaire mega donors and their puppet politicians. We're going up against a rigged system, and we're going up against a lot of money. But I'm a former middle school teacher. I don't scare easily. And Texans don't scare easily. My granddad was a Baptist preacher in South Texas. He taught me that we follow a barefoot rabbi who gave 2 commandments: love God and love neighbor. Because there is no love of God without love of neighbor. Every single person bears the image of the sacred. Every single person is holy. Not just my neighbors who look like me, or pray like me, or vote like me. Those billionaires are trying to keep us.
I get it, because that lady in Texas, what's the lady's name? The lady that was burning the Quran and all of that. I get it. It's like a complete contrast, you know what I'm saying? It's like you got this guy over here, he's in front of the church being all calm, then you got the lady over here burning the Quran. I get it, you know what I'm saying? I get it.
From seeing all that we have in common. They're trying to keep us from realizing that there is far more that unites us than divides us. Because once we do, we will come together across party, across race, across gender, across religion, to take power back for ourselves and our communities. 2,000 years ago, when the powerful few rigged the system, that barefoot rabbi walked into the seat of power and flipped over the tables of injustice. To those who love this state, to those who love this country, to those who love our neighbors, it's time to start flipping tables.
So it's time to start flipping tables. Yeah, that's the first clip I seen of that guy, man. A lot of y'all say it's the same speech as AOC, same speech as Obama and Bernie, man. Marco Polo says, how can your self-Christian how can you I don't know what the hell you saying, Marco. When they get rid of billionaires, the country will get shittier than ever. They will go for the millionaires, then the middle class, then we will all be poor and wonder why. Essence said, are they trying to copy King or JFK? I don't know. Yeah, chat, I'm gonna open the call lines back up, man. We finna get up out of here. That's all the stories and clips we got for this episode. We should come back tonight on the episode. Last night I wanted to come back, but I just needed a little mental break, man. Tonight I'm gonna try to get back over here for you guys. I'm gonna try to get on a little early tonight. Maybe 9:30, maybe 9:30, maybe 9:30. But yeah, chat. Another one in the books. Another one in the books. Mods, drop the Discord. Drop the Discord, mods. And different players saying game, Dorsey. Yeah, Chad, it was, man. This was a crazy episode. Oh, I didn't talk about Missouri redistricting. Oh, yeah, so Missouri, they push forward a new map. It's going to head to Senate, and if they get it passed through, the Democrats will only have one district. They will only have one district in Missouri. Missouri will overtake the whole state, which it kind of already is, but I think they'll get one more seat. I think they'll get one more seat if that map passes. Damn, Dorsey. Why I cut my mic off? Hold on, Dorsey. I'm finna call you right back.
All right, because I don't know why other people don't like calling in and voicing their own opinion, but
they call in more at night. They call in more at night than in the morning. A lot of people probably at work or doing something.
I have a big problem with Officer Tatum. Coon on the radio. I mean on YouTube.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he a coon, man. Yeah, straight up coon.
A lot of people say
I might be able to tolerate him. I might be able to tolerate him when it comes to social issues in the history, and he telling bald-faced ass lies. Talking about white people were slaves. No, white people was indentured servants. That means that they did 7 years, and then they were set free. They were free of their debt. Because actually, it was about debtor's prison. Because if you owed money to people, go bankrupt, you went straight to prison until your debt was paid. Debt never got paid. Then the state, which at that time was Great Britain, would send you off to go do work, colonize. Basically, you was on a chain gang in years. But because they were they had the pale complexion to escape and go into the cities and hide out, and nobody would be able to find them. That was done in Europe, and that was done here in the United States. Well, not the United States, but America. So they decided that they needed to get a group that they could identify just on skin color, and that was us. Whether you're FBA or you're an African slave that was important. We were the ones who went through slavery. We were the ones. Now, when they talk about white folks with slaves too, I never heard of them selling white children. When the mother gave birth to the child, I didn't hear about them separating the child from the mother and selling them on a slave auction block. Did you ever hear about that?
Don, what is you saying? I don't know if you guys noticed. There's a journalist on Watch 10 Pod. Journalist was unalive. I think he was getting close. No, Don, we ain't heard nothing about that, Don. Send it to me in the email, Don. Go ahead, Dorsey. Don saying she found the link between Mark Epstein, Saudi Arabia, and Jeffrey Epstein, allegedly.
So, I mean, there's another person I'm going to have a fade with. also Mr. Tatum. I'm gonna get the time. He might beat me up, but I'm gonna get him for that. These coons up here saying some slick mouth stuff. Officer Tatum, you ain't have to make up shit in order for me to agree with you on certain items. But when you start telling bald-faced lies, talking about everybody was slaves, I didn't see no Chinese slaves. Did you? You ever hear about Chinese slaves in America? No.
I think he was
Did
talking
you hear
about globally.
Huh?
I think he was just talking about slavery globally. Well, he made some points to referring to slavery.
No, but see, that's the whole thing, man. We ain't talking about globally. We talking about America.
Right.
Want to go off when they want to go off kilter. They want to be, oh well, the world. No, nigga, we talking about right now. We not talking about back then. We talking about within the last 400 years, the establishment of America. Built this shit. Rest. You know, understand what I'm saying? We ain't get no days off. You see what I'm saying? And I take that personal because, hey man, I still ain't forgave the establishment, and I still want my reparations. I'm being real on that. I'm gonna want my reparations, and I'm serious about it. But back to what he's saying about the circumstances of when Franklin Roosevelt, you know, he was elected president 4 times, right?
Okay.
Okay. They held the elections. He just couldn't say, "Oh, I'm gonna be president." No, he did it fair and square. I think Stevenson was one of his competitors and so forth. But because the people admired his leadership during the Depression, and they admired his leadership during the World War, you know, Roosevelt embraced science. He didn't run away from it. How you think we came up with atomic energy? Saying he was the one who invested money into nuclear power, which later on was able to translate into a nuclear weapon. He was the one who brought Einstein in. He was the one who invested in scientists, people who think they know everything. And that's why I have a big problem with Trump. He ain't bringing in no scientists. Elon Musk is not a scientist, financier. Elon Musk ain't built no rockets. He hired people to build rockets. There's a difference. So, you know, I just, you know, when people sit up here and distort the truth, I really can't sit idly by. Okay? Now, as far as the rest of it, with who's the guy in Texas you say who's trying to run for? What are you trying to run for?
Senate.
Governor or Senate?
Yeah, but with Franklin Roosevelt shit before the 22nd Amendment, Franklin Roosevelt served 32, 36, 40, and then 12 days into 44. But it sounds like what he ran on is kind of what's going on. He ran on the Great Depression and the outbreak of World War II.
Right. Now, Trump is trying to see, one thing about Trump trying to stay out of jail, out of prison, seeing stuff. So he don't mind starting a war, because 9 times out of 10, the country gonna be like, well, we're in the middle of the war. We can't switch up right now. You know how Bush did it? You see what I'm saying? When GW was doing bad, he used the war as an excuse to keep on being chosen as president, and it worked, right? And then by the time he left, man, he had messed the country up so bad with with his policies. You know, he was lucky that people didn't want to hang him. But so what I'm saying is that, look, we have a Constitution. I am an ardent believer in the Constitution. Okay? And if it ain't constitutional, it is not American. Now, yeah, you go to the Supreme Court, and, you know, Trump had the sense, well, the Republicans had the sense to stack the Supreme Court to their odds. See, to me, the Republicans have long-term plans. But they have short-term plans. Short-term plans don't last forever.
I think the Democrats got some long-term plans too.
What? What's their long-term plan?
Don't get me canceled.
Cancer.
I said, don't get me canceled. You know what the damn Democrats' long-term plan is, man? We ain't gonna have no more kids, man. That's what's going on.
Oh, you talking about population control?
Yeah.
Okay. Both of them is on that.
Go ahead.
Taking on more. If you're taking all the Pookies and Ray Rays and Junebugs, and you put them in prison, they can't make more kids.
Listen.
9 times out of 10, those people are what we call the alpha males. And them thugs. Them the people we really need to be but we need them to be responsible, law-abiding citizens. But now, like back to what we were saying, these children, these young adults. I'm not finna call nobody a teenager no more. I'm finna call them a young adult because you know better. You know, they talking about whether their brain ain't developed. Come on, man. When your child do something and it's something that you think that's severe enough to spank that or to invoke a punishment, and that's on small stuff. If he break a window or he breaks something or he do something, when a child goes here, okay, so let me ask you, if your 13-year-old was climbing through windows and burglarizing house, right?
Right.
You think he should go to jail?
Shit, yeah.
Okay.
Not to prison, not to no damn adult jail. But first of all, if I had a 13-year-old breaking a house and shit, jail gonna be his. He gonna be ready to go to jail, probably. Yeah.
But see, jail is only good for a year. You know, anything over a year and a day, you go to prison.
My kid better know better than that, man. Straight up. That a lot of the kids that I do see or that I grew up with that was doing those sort of things, you know, home invasions or just stealing and breaking, they didn't have a hustle about them. Like, see, I had a different type of opportunity when I was around that age, 13, 14. I was mowing yards, you know what I'm saying? I was raking leaves. I was doing other shit like that. That was before I started hustling. But I wasn't breaking into no houses and shit. So that's why I tell you now, like my kids outside, they cut the grass with me. Teach my son how to weed eat. Teach, you know, just little things that they can take as hustles forever. And then once they get to the right age, like my pops did with me, got a truck, got a lawnmower.
Okay. Do you remember the debate? Well, no, I'm just saying, are you aware of the debate that went on between W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington?
No. No.
Oh. Okay. W.E.B. Du Bois wanted equal rights, and he wanted us to have all the same rights as whites, right?
Okay.
He had no economic plan to achieve this. Booker T. Washington was saying, we as a culture, all of us should learn some kind of craft or trade. It'd be like a carpenter or whatever, so that we can build our own infrastructure and bring our own wealth into our neighborhoods and keep it there. I mean, you got to look at it now. How many young men know how to use a hammer properly? You know, how many young men know what to do with a 9-inch nail? People don't even have tools no more. I still got tools.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You know what I think is what I call is, what do they call them, a Mitch? You know what a Mitch is, right?
What's that?
That's a man who act like a bee.
Oh, right? I knew that is what you was talking about. Go ahead, Dorsey. What about it?
Okay, you got to be a Mitch to sit up and be in a car. You know, these dudes ride in the car, and then when the tire get on the flat, the motherfuckers don't even know how to change the tire, man. That's a Mitch. That's a straight up Mitch. don't even know how to change a tire, dog. Now, I know, change it. Man, my old man told me how to change a tire.
Hold on. Deplorable, what you mean rates dropped by 2.4% Friday and another 0.5% gonna drop this Friday, so rates finna come down 3% by Friday is what you saying? Go ahead, though, Doris.
About interest rates?
Yeah.
Trump finally got somebody who's going to agree to drop down the interest rates?
They said interest rates, that's what Deplorable said. I'm finna look it up.
But like I said, we don't raise men no more. I mean, my dad taught me how to change my oil. Taught me how to put transmission fluid in the car. He taught me how to put fuses in. You know how when your little light would go off and stuff, how to put the fuses in. He taught me all that stuff.
Yeah,
and
they're saying
hard.
that it fell to 6.322%, the average rate. So this is the first time it's been below 6.4 since early October. The rate's still high as fuck. 6.3 still high as fuck. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that lower interest rate is going to cause ultra inflation. How much money is going to be in circulation? Don't come from, but and back to the thing on the cultural. Man, you got young men. Like I said, they ain't boys. You got young men of all ages and cultures. Don't know what their responsibility is to be. Most of us, I was building a chicken coop when I was 6 years old. Chicken wire and the little balsam wood and all that. Had pet chickens and ducks. Saying what I'm saying? And we're losing this masculinity. How many kids know how to plant a seed and grow some? I mean, I know they know how to grow weed, but do you know how to really grow some crops? Do you know how to do you know how to go to the fuse box in the house when the lights go out and replace the fuse? Or do you just sit up there like a dummy and call the electric company and wait 2 days and then have to pay the $600 or whatever for them to come out and do the service call?
Right. They said the drip said the Fed didn't drop rates. Yeah, they didn't drop rates. They just saying that at a new low since early October. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So my whole thing to you, and this is as a man, father, and a grandparent. My grandson Carl got accepted into a STEM college, right? Because he's good with electronics. I'm proud of him. He was a troubled kid for a while because he used to beat up people and stuff, but he eventually found his way. I have another, my granddaughter. She's making A's and B's, and she's in the 11th grade next year. I got to figure out how I'm going to come up with a car. Saying, I don't know what kind of putt-putt I'm going to get her, but, I owe her a car. Because if she graduates high school, I think it's only fitting that she should be rewarded for her efforts. So, my thing to the community is we have to stop making excuses and lousy parents. Oh, I can't make it. I can't. You can do whatever you want. And hopefully with Trump, he's making, hopefully they'll change it where you have to take a DNA test before you can accuse a man of being the father. That should be done every time a child is born to match up to DNA, to make sure you got the right man. I'm hoping that things change. Trump got another year to go. Another 2.5 years to go. So hopefully with him, I hope that a lot of stupid things come to an end. Now, also, I don't believe that people who have had sex change should be out there participating in women's sports.
I don't either.
If you want to go out there and play basketball and you're a dude, well, you can go out there and play basketball in a skirt. But you ain't finna play no girls basketball. That's what you ain't finna do. You know? It's I don't know, Plug. When you do these people who are trans as kids, is the majority of them white?
No,
I ain't seen no black trans athletes. Have you?
Not athletes.
Yeah, I'm talking about athletes.
No.
Yeah, I ain't seen trans who act like, you know, they
I'm
act
sure
like women.
they're there.
But
I
when
just
you
haven't
got,
seen them.
but when you got somebody who changed their then they want to still be masculine, nah, man, there's something wrong with that. And I dang sure don't believe that they should be in the girls' locker room. So all you're doing is putting on your drawers so you can go into the public bathroom and do that. You know, the one with the little wheelchair thing. You can go up in there for a minute. You know, that's an individual. There for a minute. The school is closed anyway. It's a lot of things that we've been too liberal. We got to the point where we're ridiculous. Now our society is out of balance. You know, if they allow us to you call it whip the children, spank. What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you,
I mean, shit. I got whoopings.
spanking?
I got whoopings. Hell, my kids.
Okay,
now,
when
they
I
don't
turned
really get
13, I got beatings. It wasn't about no whippings.
Shit.
It was a straight up beat down from my mom, and it really didn't even hurt. That time I was a young man, and let's be real. Unless your mom is a wide back, big back, you don't feel them little blows. I mean, it just should be get to the point that if you can't beat them, then you got to lock them up. It is.
Okay. Well, yeah, we finna get up out of here on this episode, Dorsey, man. We'll be back tonight,
Yeah.
man.
What's the subject gonna be tonight?
I don't know. I seen a high school in Jamaica done banned the girls from curling up their edges and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. What we gonna do.
Yeah, the world gone crazy, man. And one more thing, them people in what was that was Malaysia, where them YNs, Nepal, right? Them people in Nepal who went crazy over the internet being banned.
Uh-huh.
Now that's something worthwhile, freedom of expression. But the YNs ain't doing that out here. They on nonsense. So anyway, hey man, you have a great day, fantastic day, and may God bless you, and may you be prosperous in everything, and a hedge of protection around you and your family. Okay?
Man, I sure appreciate that, Dorsey, man. You as well.
Oh yeah, man. You know the old head got to give you them old time blessings.
All right now, Dorsey.
All right, dude. Bye.
Hell yeah, man. Chad, we finna get up out of here, man, on this episode. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day, and I'll see y'all on the next one.